Alright, let's talk about a movie. Very bizarre. Remember. Remember? It's a slash, so I have to say slash member if I'm saying it right. It's a Netflix movie. It's actually a Netflix movie. You can watch it on Netflix. If you go right now, you can. Um, Basically, this was kind of a movie that I wouldn't say watch urgently again, but it was different. Like, they tried to do a different approach with this. So, basically, it starts off very extreme, so be warned. About less than 2 minutes in, it starts off with an 8-year-old girl. She's 8 year old with a soft cuddly toy running away from a guy who has an axe. Now, on the clarifying, I think down the road it tells you what happens to the person with the axe, but I say think is because I didn't click on because it's a lot of foreign language in this movie as well. So it shows you going into this house, and I'm not kidding, this person with an axe brutally kills the 8-year-old girl. I mean, that is very extreme to measures. But so it takes you 20 years later, where school is being built nearby, and apparently 6 students have been picked out, and it's because they don't mix in with others, so they start to see different things happening. I understand on that logical, but they've been chosen. Now, this is the different way around it. It's basically like a paranormal, and they have to stay over hours at the school, and this is when things go a bit bloody and chaos to the core. I am not joking. So let me just give you some details about this movie. So this was basically it. Average, I think you can nudge up the percentage a little bit more than that, because this was quite a difference. I think it's because people don't like stuff different, with me, I don't mind. I really don't mind, because that's what horror is all about to me as well. So, it says 6 students, it is, but in this time loop, this is what's really punishing. Because normally in the casual you see, this place is spooky, it's paranormal, ghosts and stuff like that. You know the drill. But this is being put on a time loop. So, on the first attempt, they have no idea, and it turns out this girl got brutally killed, comes back as paranormal, and she has no eyes, nothing, and she's holding a soft cuddly teddy bear. Now, it has to do with the teddy bear, because when she got brutally killed, blood was going on to the teddy bear. So obviously I think the teddy bear is like a voodoo doll or something, I don't know. But this was great, because it showed you her as a paranormal, this ghost. Anywhere you go, she will be there. So they don't click on like so until they all die. They literally all die, and I'm like, oh, wow. So when they die, they go into this loop that starts back up again, waking it up early on the morning. Oh my goodness. So down the line, every time they die, they get looted. Now, they search up about the missing dead girl because they all click on, and this is what I like. There isn't any stupidness to right to the end. I'm not kidding. So they get a little bit wiser and smarter each time. They search up about the girl and they say the body is missing. The part of her body is missing. So apparently she's been chopped up. So when they go in the time loop, there's only one part of her body each time. So they have to die every single time. But the body part will be in a different location of the school. So they try to get these parts and put it in the coffin, which is a church nearby the school. Like I said, it's a different approach, and I like how they did this because sometimes you just get a little bit bored. Do you know what I mean? You just get a little bit bored of the same ghost, paranormal, or spooky, or wow, you know. This was different, but there's a lot more different to this as well. I think it's 50% Rotten Tomatoes and 5% because they didn't know how to feel about it. Me, it was different. I enjoyed the difference. But there's a catch. Oh yeah, there's a catch to this. So, spoiler, if you don't want any spoilers, I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll let you click off the video. You had 5 seconds. Don't say you're being warned. So things get a little bit weird down the line with them all thinking, oh, that's it. They've got the pieces, but little you know, there's one piece left, and that is the head. I'm not kidding. There's a lot of blood in this as well, even though it's paranormal. So, yeah, but that's not the case here. So they go to the building where she actually died from, and they break this wall, and the teddy bear, well, it's not a teddy bear, it's a cuddly soft toy, is there. And you see the girl in the background, which is really creepy. And they all run out, scared. So they realise that there's absolutely nothing in the buildings because they thought the head would have been still there. And it shows you this teacher, he's fucking weird ass shit. It is. And you think he's burying the head, but it isn't. Turns out the head is in one of the time loops, but the time loop itself changes. So this time loop, when they back to the start again, things change. I have to say there's a cat in this, and it actually dies twice. So just be warned of it. But no animals were harmed in this movie. So, yeah, this comes to a huge twist. As you see with the picture above what I have. Holy God. So, they try and prepare for the worst because in this time loop, since the body's getting put together, there's only the head left. The little girl and the soft toy, I'm going to call it voodoo toy because it looks fucking weird, combined together. Because when you put the pieces together, she's not paranormal anymore. She's in the picture. So she's not like a ghost. So they're bringing her forward to the fact. And this is when the little girl obviously goes and mixes in with the teddy bear and has this giant fucking monster. I'm not kidding. And the face looks pretty terrifying. yeah, it looks pretty terrifying. I'm not going to show it because I don't want to spoil it. So, but this gets brutal because basically they try in this picture to burn the monster. Doesn't work. And he attacks one of the student girls, but I'm not kidding, it swallows it whole. It actually eats her. And all the others die. All the others die, and it go reset back to the time loop. They reset back to the time loop from right to the start. But the only difference is the girl that got eaten and swallowed isn't in the time loop, isn't around anywhere. Turns out that the monster is eating the girl, and that's why she's not on the time loop. So they know they have to be quick and urgent before they get eaten anybody else. So where is the head, don't ask? Well, it's actually in the monster. It's actually in the monster itself. Yeah, so that's the catch. So they're going to have to kill the monster to actually get the head. And this is when the aggravation just comes straight. Oh my God. They use a chain to wrap around and stuff like that, and it's too strong, and it starts fucking eating the students. I'm not kidding. So there's two of them left, and he uses a chainsaw to saw the head, to get the head out, and he have the little girl's head. This is insane. This is insanity insane. So he's holding it, and I'm not kidding. The monster is still alive. The monster's still alive, chasing after her, and he gives the main character the head. Now this is when things pissed me off. See, with a natural cause in reality, you would say, dash to the coffin and put the head in, right? I'm not kidding. She holds the fucking head for 5 minutes while he's struggling, it is, with the monster before he gets eaten. I'm like, oh my God, is this how they're gonna fuck up the movie? Just put the head in the coffin. It makes sense. So, she realized she's the one left. She realized the head is bashed out of her hand. I'm like, oh my fucking God. And she gets a pole and whacks the shit out of it. But you know, there's something falling from the ceiling, a giant cross, and just goes through the monster. So, and now it is, she picks up the head, puts it in the coffin, finally, after 10 fucking minutes. Excuse me. 10 minutes. She had the head in her hand. She could have just put it in the coffin while he was fighting the monster. Nah, it's okay, I'll just stay there and just panic and, you know. Do you know what I mean? That was so frustration. It was. Little, you know, the sun comes through and everything goes back the way it was. And that's really it. At the end, but when it goes back the way it was, they don't know each other. So, they go back to the school days where it was normal, but they haven't got a clue about who each other is, comparing to when they knew each other in the time loop. So she drops the pin from her pocket. He picks it up, who's supposed to be eating, and they smile and getting on. And that's how the movie ends. This movie was a roller coaster. This movie was a roller coaster. It was. I watched the extended version though. There's an extended version and a Netflix version. Netflix version, they actually kind of cut out some things, which I kind of understand. You know, it is. Excuse me. I've got a cough, I don't know fucking why. So, yeah. So, again, like I said, I have no idea how to feel about this movie. I really don't. Because it's good. You know, how the girl dies and then comes back to life in the time loop. So I understand why there's so much confusion. It is. But they tried something different. And I think they succeeded. I think it paid off. I think just a lot of people are just used to the regular same thing. And that's not good for horror movies like paranormal and stuff. Because you have to be creative at some time or another. So I give this movie a chance. I just got so frustrated at the ending because she was holding her head and she's staring at him and stuff, you know. But besides everything else, this was different. It was disturbing. It was bloody. Paranormal, and then a physical monster came into play, which the face looks fucking creepy, swallowing the students, you know, and the ending was different as well. I really think it was a different movie altogether. Was it good? I would say you have to understand it. But there's a lot in the horror community, no offense, just want gore, blood, and I just think that's just fucking weird. I just think that's really weird. And I've always said, if it's a good story, then you have a good horror. Do you know what I mean? I always believe in that kind of situation. You might not, but I do. But I like Terrifier, and that had a tiny bit of story, but it didn't make sense a lot, but I enjoyed it still. But the fact is, this movie was different. It had a story. It had a backstory of 20 years ago, like so. 20 years later, I'm gonna give this movie it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I'm going to give this movie an 8. I want to give this movie an 8 because I really think it was different. It had blood in, it was bloody, you know, and there was some scenes that was great. Some scary scenes. I'm not going to want to spoil it. I really don't want to spoil it. But there was a scene that's why I want to make it a 9. I really want to make this movie a 9 and a 10. Of the start, before the monster came in, the girl was insane. The little girl was insane. Like, do you know The Exorcist? Where she turns upside down like a spider and stuff. You see this shit do this in this. It's one of the highlights. One of the highlights. Let's see if I get it up. So, I want to show you this bit. If you don't want to see spoilers, just turn away and just click off the video again. But you've already heard a lot of the spoilers. This is the scene. And he bashes her about. and you can hear the bones crinkle, crackle, and ugh. And she walks like this fucking backward spider, possessed so quick, and she climbs on him and just brutalizes him. This is what I'm saying. I want to make this movie a 9 to 10 just for that scene itself. But there's a lot of other scenes that she jumps and puts her arm through a girl's fucking mouth and comes out the other side. It's insane. She rips a fucking guy apart. It's really good. Disturbing, but it's a really good movie. So that's what I'm saying. Again, look at this. This is when she fucking, is all twisted. She's all twisted and puts her bones back into place. But she's like a spider. Crawling, like... So, again, like I said, I would recommend watch it. See for yourself. See for yourself. Never mind the fucking cost and shit like that, but it's on Netflix. Watch it if you want to watch it. I've watched the extended version, but I might watch the Netflix short version as well, because there was 2 versions on Netflix at the time. But besides everything else, yeah. So, guys, what do you think of this movie? Was this movie you liked? Or was it you were just very confused about it? Because a lot of people are confused about it too. I wasn't. They combined a realistic monster when it was at the final stage, because they just picked out the parts of the body, but not the head. And that's why things changed on the final battle. So it kind of really made sense. But the time loop, I know a lot of people don't like it. I don't like the time loop situations. But honestly, this was pretty good. So I'm going to give this an 8.5. I'm going to add the 5 to it. An 8.5. I want to make it a 9, but I just can't with the stupid girl at the end holding the head. But 8.5. What do you guys think about this movie? Let me know down in the comments below. Oh, and